So good morning, everyone. I'm Tracy Clark. I'm the Executive Director for the Louisa County Chamber of Commerce. I'm excited to have our business breakfast this morning. Virtually, we're providing you or hoping you had a really good breakfast this morning or preparing one in the near future. I'm going to give a few quick updates just about what's going on with the Chamber right now as we admit a few more people into the meeting. But first off and foremost, I would like to share that April 15th, we are launching a tourism campaign called Unplug and Play. Very, very exciting. This is with our second grant from Virginia Tourism Corporation. The general gist of the campaign is to encourage and bring people here for day trips, weekends, week-long vacations. There's a lot to do in Louisa County. The lake, of course, is a huge draw, but we have so many other assets in Louisa as well, including Shenandoah Crossings Resort, all the way over to Zion's Crossroads, Prospect Hill, Best Western. So the goal of Unplug and Play is people will register, they will get an identification or one of those rubber black bracelets that say Unplug and Play, and gives them access to deals and special freebies as they move around Louisa and support different businesses. So it's pretty exciting, the number of businesses that we have participating. If you'd like any more information about participating with your business or just helping us spread the word, we always look for people to help. So that is the most exciting thing that's kicking off next week. We also have tomorrow is ribbon cutting. Lakeside Title and Escrow is opening their third location on Main Street in Louisa, and that is between 3 and 4. They will have food and drink there. Please stop by. Let's support that new business right on Main Street and meet those folks. On Thursday, the 8th, on Facebook Live, we released leader spotlights. Bob Babiak, the interview that I had with the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, that will be released tomorrow. It's a great conversation. He gives some insights about broadband as well as more exciting announcements that are coming with the county. So you can check that out. Member orientation is next Tuesday morning, the 13th. It's a 30-minute overview of how to utilize your membership to and our website and all those resources that are available to you. It's easy to sign up, just register 30 minutes via Zoom. On the 22nd, we're going to Annie Mac's Kitchen right on Main Street in the town of Louisa to have dinner. If you have not eaten at this restaurant, it is great Jamaican flair food. That restaurant launched about a month before COVID, and they are still here. They are still giving it everything they've got. So please come out and support them. Let's meet in person, bring friends, family. All the social distancing and rules still apply, but we're going to just mob that restaurant with people. That's from 5 to 7 on the 22nd. And then finally, we launched in March partnership with the Central Virginia Small Business Administration. We're doing monthly one-on-one consulting. It's free. It's called the Business Boost. You can schedule a 45-minute one-on-one conversation with Greg Durazio, who is the Louisa representative, but he can connect you and your business to whatever resources and tools that you may need. It's a great opportunity for any business throughout the area to get some help, get some guidance, get some, just find out what it is, the Small Business Administration, and how they can help you. There's a lot of resources available to you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over and we're going to start our introductions for all of those that are with us this morning. So I'm just going to call out names. If you will introduce yourself, where you're from, maybe just a short bit about your services, that would be great. I would ask that any events or links or anything like that that you would like to promote with the group, use the chat feature that's down below. You can just hit chat and you can chat in those links or event details. And that way on this recording, we'll be able to share that with folks. So I'm going to start with Tammy Boxley, who's our board liaison. Tammy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Good morning. I'm Tammy Boxley, Out of the Box Catering. We can handle all your catering needs. I'm also on the board for the Louisa Chamber of Commerce. And as Tracy said, I am the board liaison that helps Frank Rainey put these together. So welcome, everybody. And I'm excited to hear what Bo has to say.
Thank you. Sharon, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Sharon Mcdonald with Adult Community Education, and we are open again. We've got shortened hours, 9 to 12 every day or by appointment. And during this whole COVID thing, we have been getting new students for GED. And we have been, we started a lending program with laptops for those who don't have them. And we just want everybody who needs English or GED or basic education to come on in, and we will see what we can do.
Wonderful. Thank you. Ed.
Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day to be in Central Virginia. I'm with my name's Ed Evans, and I'm with Advanced Network Service. We're a full service IT firm headquartered out of Charlottesville, but also have offices in Bluefield. And we support businesses throughout the state with a broad portfolio of IT services as well as managed services. Kind of one of the things we're seeing these days is this time last year where we were helping people go remote. Now we're seeing people starting to trickle back in the offices, and they're looking for support on that, as well as kind of keep a hybrid environment of where there are going to be some people in the office and some people still working remote. That being said, we can help you with the security or any IT issues you have on that. So if you have any IT issues or you have any challenges, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to help you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Durate, I probably said that wrong.
Thank you. It's Duarte. Appreciate you. I also go by D. I'm the Director of Talent Acquisition for Blue Green Vacations. We have a resort there in Gordonsville, Virginia, and we are hiring. We have plenty of opportunities from hourly to also salaried roles, looking for housekeeping individuals, recreation, equestrian, guest services. And I'm also here joined by Melanie Baker as well, who's the resort GM.
Thank you. Cole Baker.
Hello, my name is Cole Baker. I'm actually a small business staffer for Representative Spanberger. We were alerted to the call, and I just wanted to be on the line to hear about your all's concerns and be able to report back to the Congresswoman. So mostly just here as the silent observer, but great to be here with you all this morning.
Great. Thank you for joining us. Melanie.
Hey, good morning. Melanie Baker. I'm the resort manager here at Shenandoah Crossing. So good morning, everybody.
Morning. Morning.
Morning.
Garland.
Good morning. Garland Knuckles. I'm the mayor for the town of Louisa, and we've got quite a bit going on. We're getting ready to start a Main Street project, which will work from just at the end of town on the west end and come down approximately a mile doing sidewalks and so forth all the way to the town limits at the nursing home. But all's busy in town, and I'm glad to see it staying busy for the businesses.
Thank you. Billy.
Yeah, I'm Billy Wason. I'm a co-owner with my wife, Dr. Gail Funke of Grace Spring. Among other things, we have a farm, but Gail also has an extensive business consulting, doing executive coaching, team building, strategic planning, and that sort of thing. I do that to some degree, and also I'm a historian if you want to really get bored.
Love it. Thank you for being here. Debbie.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Good morning. I'm Debbie Reed with the Journey Home. We are excited that we have another family moving into the home in just a couple weeks, and the staff and volunteers have been busy. We've made a community garden that we're going to be using for staff, volunteers, and our residents. So we're excited about that.
Wonderful. Good to see you. Meryl.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Meryl Clark. I'm with Prestige Global Meeting Source. We are a full service events, meeting and hospitality firm that helps organizations worldwide with any sort of event and meeting and travel for groups. So individual incentives, if an organization needs hotel space and meeting space for a product launch or any sort of meeting, we offer those services. So glad to be here. Good morning.
Well, good
Good
morning.
morning.
Lisa.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I've been having trouble with my lovely computer this morning. I'm Lisa with the Louisa Reentry Council. We work with folks coming out of incarceration, and over 70% of our people are working, becoming taxpayers again, and making that smooth transition back into Louisa. Thank you.
Thank you. Felicia.
Good morning. My name is Felicia Ainsa. I am the Director of Economic Development for Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. And so it's my job to help the businesses within our footprint and then to also bring new ones in. So a big part of that, of course, is workforce and CTE skills and all of those great things. I'm looking forward to this morning. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here. Stephanie.
Sorry about that. Stephanie Corin with Lake Anna Tractor and Hardware. We have a new brand of tractors. We also have a new commercial that I hope you'll watch for on NBC, typically early morning and around news time in the evening. And coming soon, we will have annuals and perennials and look forward to seeing everybody again.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Dennis.
Good morning. I'm the chief engineer here at Shenandoah Crossings, also a newcomer to Virginia as well. Only been here about 4 months. So if you need anything, just reach out. Pleasure meeting everyone.
Welcome. Shannon.
Morning, I'm Shannon Ferguson. I'm also with Blue Green Vacations and Shenandoah Crossing. Fortunate to be here with Melanie and Duarte and Dennis. I see Greg is here as well. So I am an HR business partner for this group, and I'm proud to support them. I'm also an advisory and council member for the Louisa County Tech Ed program.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Greg.
Good morning, I'm Greg. I'm the Assistant Resort Manager here at Shenandoah Crossings.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Megan Dubois. I'm the Director of Programming for the Louisa Arts Center. We are an entertainment facility that offers youth and adult art classes, summer camps, after-school programs, as well as when it's safe enough to gather, we will welcome back our live concert events and theatrical productions. And I'm looking forward to opening our summer camp registration this week for the young people in our community.
Thank you, Megan. Mike.
Morning, everyone. I'm Mike Varner, printing, and we do all types of marketing print materials, from your product catalogs to brochures to product packaging, and just here to service anything that you have.
Good morning. Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen Skraback. I'm with Louisa Title Agency. I'm the licensed title insurance agent. We do real estate closings, and we ensure that what you're buying really is what you're going to own free and clear.
Welcome. Julie. Julie.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to see a big, sorry, took me a minute to get off mute. Nice talking with everyone this morning. I work for Dominion Energy, as well as my husband and I own our own beef cattle farm. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning. And then we have one caller, last four digits, 91667. Who's on the phone with us?
Good morning, Tracy. This is Pam Quarles.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tracy. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Good. Go ahead. This is Pam Quarles. I'm with UVA Community Credit Union right here in the town of Louisa. I'm also the vice chair with the chamber. Just feel free to stop by our branch just to say hello. We have a bunch of promotions that we're running right now. If you're thinking about purchasing a vehicle or already have purchased one, come by. We can definitely lower the rate. We have a great promotion called Swap and Drop. We'll lower your rate by 2%. We also have great promotions on our mortgages right now. So again, this is Pam Quarles with UVA Community Credit Union. Good morning and enjoy the event today.
Morning. Thanks, Pam. Marie Snyder, show your pretty face. Wait, you're on mute. Marie, you're on mute.
All right, there, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. Good morning, folks. I'm Marie Snyder. I'm the owner of Lake Anna Linens, the linen service on the lake, and I also am co-owners of Fresh Air Flicks that provides backyard movies and pop-up movies for large events as well. I'm also the chairman of the board for the Chamber of Commerce. So welcome, everyone.
Good morning. And we have one last introduction, and that is our chair for the breakfast series. I would like to introduce you to Frank Rainey, and then he's going to take it away and introduce you to our special guest. So Frank, you want to say a couple words about you?
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. We love the sunshine, and what a great day. I am relatively new to the neighborhood. I've only been here about 3 years. I own my own insurance and investment practice. I work from my home here in at the lake, and do a lot of comprehensive estate planning and investment and wealth management.
Great. Take it away, my friend.
Okay, well, it's like I said, it's great to have all of you here. We're really grateful, and I think if we're really being hopeful, we're turning the corner on our pandemic, and hopefully next month we might have an opportunity to actually greet each other and get back to more normalcy. Today we're really fortunate. As I mentioned, I'm relatively new to the neighborhood, but I've had the pleasure of meeting and greeting our guest speaker today, Bo Bundrick. And for most of you, or anybody that's been here for any length of time, know Bo really well. And obviously Bo is well connected to this community. And I reached out to Bo, and I know he's traveling. So thanks, Bo, for taking time from your vacation this morning to make a presentation for us today. But I asked Bo to just send me a little bit of bio information so that I'd have something to share with you folks. And he basically said that he's basically been in the public and the private education sector for about 25 years. So he's a teacher. Bo's a coach. He's a building administrator. He is a central office administrator. He currently is the director of career and technical education and workforce development for the Louisa County Public Schools. In addition to that, he serves on the Virginia Piedmont Workforce Board, education lead for the Virginia Energy Consortium, and he's currently the secretary of our chamber. So in addition to that, just as an outside observation, I know that Bo is an outdoorsman, which is near and dear to my heart. He and I are friends on Facebook, and I see his pups, and he's always out in the field. So I know he loves nature. So I try to live my dream through Bo right now. He's having a good time. But Bo, we certainly appreciate you coming and taking time to share some information with us this morning. And I'd like you to just take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Frank, for that introduction, and good morning to everyone. It's good to be here on this nice, I think it's Tuesday, sunny Tuesday, yep. So really excited to present some information to our members this morning that some of you may have heard before. I do apologize, especially those members that we work with, and also the members on the call that are served on our advisory committee. But what I want to share with you is kind of an update of where Louisa County Public Schools is as far as our work-based learning program. It has grown. I am fairly new to the area. This is my 4th year in Central Virginia here in Louisa County. I'm very pleased to be wrapping up our 4th year and having this work-based learning program. So I'm going to share a slide deck with you and talk to those slides. And then at the end, Tracy, if you don't mind, or Frank, if we can navigate questions toward the end, I think we'll have a better understanding of the program if we go through it. It's a real brief presentation, so I'll kind of go through it quickly. And I'll go ahead and share my screen for all the participants, and I will enhance that. So hopefully you guys can see the slide deck better. And if you have any questions or concerns with tech, just throw them in the chat, and hopefully someone can work through that. We do have a workforce committee on our chamber, and that's several of us working together to try to solve the needs that our businesses and industry and our members have to try to hire young talent as well as skilled talent. So we are trying to do the best we can across our Commonwealth, or especially in our region, to assist with this. In 2017, Louisa County Public Schools, obviously, when I came on board, we implemented a work-based learning program. And the slide you see here is a actual work-based learning guide that the Virginia Department of Education has created for all of the folks in the Commonwealth and folks in my position, my colleagues across the state. We use this guide as a learning tool for industry and business, but also job seekers who are predominantly our high school students as we grow the workforce and upskill them as they're in school and teach them a lot about the professional skills that are needed for jobs, customer service, work ethic, showing up on time, responsibility, all those things that we want to see in our employees. We're trying to teach that at a younger level. And you'll kind of see the color wheel. What you have there is basically opportunities that students can participate in through our program. And I would be the one facilitating all of these for each student. The first one that we do a lot of is service learning. And really what this is it's allowing our students to work with industry, the private sector, any type of nonprofit, and anyone who needs a project done or a community need. They do this as a non-paid experience. And if you'll see what I have highlighted there, this really focuses on the 5 C's of what we want a young adult to come out of high school knowing. Not necessarily they just learn how to collaborate, communicate, be a good person, a citizen, be creative, and think critically, problem solve, as we are looking to enhance those professional skills for a young workforce coming out of high school. And obviously, if they can do these things, this project does promote those 5 C's as they have to plan, design, and implement some type of project for a community need. As I mentioned earlier, we currently have a student now who is designing a full-blown science, technology, and education and math trailer, a portable trailer. They're designing a trailer that we can pull behind a vehicle in Louisa County and take it out to young people during the summer. And as soon as our pandemic restrictions lift, we'll be able to do some of those things. But just one neat example of different service learning projects. Clinical experiences really delves into our nursing students. They go obviously to our health and rehab centers and nursing facilities across our area, and they obviously provide a small amount of care assistance to nurses in the field. They have to do this for 42 hours before they sit for the state board exam. So that's a clinical experience in our health and medical program. And really the nuts and bolts of our program today that I want to talk to you about is the internship and the apprenticeship model. When a student is 16 years old in their sophomore year, we try to get them a paid job the summer after their sophomore year. And this is putting them in a real world environment so they can practice career skills for their specific pathway that they want to go into. You know, and if they're interested in that, or their abilities match your job or even their goals, they can be paid or unpaid. It doesn't matter, but preferably, you know, just as well as I do, if you're paying someone and they value what you're doing and vice versa, you're going to probably have a better experience than a non-paid internship. So we do support primarily the paid internships because the students do want to learn how to manage their money and earn a paycheck and do all those different things. And that helps as we are placing students. They're more motivated by the dollar as well. And students that participate in these are guided by a formal written training plan that I have. The parent, the student, and the employer signs those, and it's a real basic agreement saying what each party will do, as well as how I will follow up on the student. And it's a really good program that we have now, because internship was added to the mix afterwards. Once we built this work-based learning program, it does provide the student with a credit, and I'll allude to that in the end. And then the apprenticeship, there are two models for an apprenticeship. There's a youth registered apprenticeship and a registered apprenticeship. And just really the difference between those two, the youth registered can still start at 16 years old. And this is more of a streamlined pathway for a student. If, say, for instance, coming out of our welding program, if we have a young man or woman who wants to go straight into welding and we find a work-based learning opportunity or a part-time job for them, and this is exactly, they know it, you know, they know what they want to do coming out of high school. They want to get the upskills and stack on credentials, but they don't want to go to a 4-year school. We want to put them in the apprenticeship program because that's going to be a national recognized certificate for them. And obviously it will enhance their skill level more so than an average internship. There's going to be some training along with that, and the employer will assist with the RTI, which is related instruction. And that's what that looks like. But we, as a high school program, career and tech ed program under the youth model, we provide the related instruction, and the employer does not, which is a benefit to the employer because they don't have to pay for any classes. At least they'll get the base level courses in high school welding 1 and welding 2, and come out with a student industry certification. And then as they move into the registered apprenticeship side, once they graduate, they remain on that track. They're still a registered apprentice, and then the employer and that student as a full-time employee now will work together to maintain their hours of instruction required for different stackable credentials, as I mentioned, and so forth. So the apprenticeship model is really geared toward a student who is seeking that, you know, very intentional pathway into a career. They know exactly what he or she wants to do, and then that's the model that we use. We do have more internships now because students are really experimenting with part-time jobs and things that they think they want to do. So the apprenticeship model has to be a really laser-focused program before I register for that, because that is registered through the Department of Labor, and it just requires a lot more paperwork and follow-up. So you want to make sure that we're very serious about that apprenticeship program before we register for that. And the last slide kind of summarizes what I just said. You can see the experience noted on the left, and these are, like I said, all the things that we do. And then as you go over through this chart, it just shows our students exactly what can happen during their educational tenure. And you'll see we have some experiences at the top: job shadowing and service learning and mentorship. That can begin as early as 6th grade. And we try to get some students involved in those at an earlier age, just so they get a feel for what's going on. We are doing some virtual employer spotlights now. I know Blue Green and Shenandoah is on the call today. They just had a great a call with us and queued in recently last week. We do an employer spotlight on Wednesdays to talk about what the industry needs are for that employer, and we video that and we share it out. So doing something like that and getting students to see that is a great tool. But I want to just wrap it up and tell the employers on the call, if you're looking for young talent, the registered apprenticeship and the internship model will earn that student a credit on their high school transcript if they work It's 144 hours of on-the-job training for the registered apprenticeship. And then if they work 280 hours in a calendar year, they're going to earn a credit on their transcript. So that's a good thing for a student. That's one less class they have to take. So this does count as a class, and that can be a filler in their schedule as well. So they can early release. So if a kid gets out at 12 o'clock or 1:45 every day, they can go straight to the job. And obviously now on this remote learning model or hybrid learning model that we have, they're in school 2 days a week. So the other days they can work. And then this job transitions through the summer. And I log their hours from July 1 through June 30. That's our fiscal year. So we use that calendar year to accumulate their hours to hit 280 for their credit option. And then if an employer wants to share a job with me, then I will talk to that employer. We will set up a job description and post it. And what you see on the screen now is the actual job postings that I use on the administrative side. We use a system called Queued In, and they're our employment sponsorship company. Seth Marsh is the CEO, and we were the first to try this system in the Commonwealth, and we've stuck with it. It's basically for me a warehouse of jobs so I can post it and then send it out to the students, and students are registered in this portal as well as employers, and then they can post their own jobs, and I can talk about that later offline. Any employer can reach out to me about that, but I simply post the jobs, and then the student will notify me through our system that they're interested, and then I vet the candidate. To make sure that they're a good student. We go through their portfolio, which is we search for their grades, their attendance, and their discipline. And if they pass that first layer of vetting, then I reach out to the employer and say, hey, Frank, I've got somebody to hire. Let me bring them down for an interview. And then we interview that young person, and we give them that skill set to be obviously sit in and probably have one of their first live interviews. It's a good learning experience for them. And then if that student is selected, then they're hired and we do the paperwork. And then that's how we proceed with the process. And they can be an intern or an apprentice, like I said, from their sophomore year through their junior year. And as they transition out of Louisa County Public Schools, that employer can still stay in contact with me as far as, hiring another person out of our program or maintaining that good relationship. And that's what I'm here to do, is to forge those relationships across our division, to make sure that we can give all of our local employers, our chamber members, or whoever, the best possible experience to hire a young adult and get them trained. Because from what I hear, the two main things that they want them to do is to show up on time and be ready to work, and then they'll train them. So I feel like it's much easier to take a young adult between 16 and 18 who really does not have any bad workforce habits right now, and let that employer mold them and shape them into what they're looking for. And no, they don't always stay. They may work a part-time job for 2 years and they may go off to school and do something else. But I will say, a lot of people that have reached out to me say, hey, I want a student who is, not going to go to college and work for me. Well, this program is not designed just for that. It's designed for a college-bound student as well, because as I mentioned, let's say that a student is an apprentice in high school and they go to college and they still maintain that job in the summer. They still maintain their apprenticeship all through college. So it doesn't have to stop after their 12th grade. We want that to continue, and we want to have some of our best and brightest and all this involved in this work-based program, because they're going to need jobs too one day. And this early on training will definitely assist them before they get out of school at 21, 22. And then they throw their hands up saying, now what do I do? Because I know mom and dad did not want to bring them back into the household for sure. So we're going to try to train them early and get them out and be a productive citizen. And that's what we want to do. That's what this program is designed to do. And we've been very fortunate, as even in the pandemic right now, we have about 64 students placed in experiences this year. So we've been pushing and doing really well. The students have done a great job adapting to workforce needs and mitigation strategies on the job, and it's been a great experience. So we've been excited here at Louisa County Public Schools about that. And obviously I do sit on some of the state CTE boards, and we talk about our successes across the Commonwealth, and this program has really taken off. So glad to be a part of it here locally. And if you have any questions, we can take those at this time.
Oh, I had a quick question. Is there a cap of the amount of an employer's or students an employer can have in the apprenticeship program?
No, there is no cap. So let's say, for instance, D, that, you know, Blue Green wanted to hire 7 of our students and they were all eligible. Yes, you could take them all.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead, Billy. I believe you have a question. You need to unmute yourself. Sorry, Billy.
I just have an observation. Very impressive, Bo. Thank you for sharing that with us. I've used, and this is more esoteric, but not as part of this formal program, but I have used high school students in doing historical research. And believe me, they're excellent, excellent opportunities, both for having a relationship with those students, but also giving them a look into doing a different kind of work. So currently in another, working with one now that's doing some outstanding work on, for another group that I'm part of, that's a very difficult research job. And this young person, she's a junior, is doing excellent. So I can't speak highly enough for the kinds of students that Bo is talking about. They're really, even in these more esoteric areas like historical research, they have a lot to contribute.
Thank you, Billy. I'll jump in on that as well, because we at the Chamber have utilized the school or worked with the school on a number of different projects, typically related to writing or promotional aspects, social media, and just working with the students and finding where their passions lie. It's been a very rewarding experience to help them in their growth. So, you know, that's an opportunity as well. If you have a need, Bo can work with you on some of those things as well, getting you connected to groups like that. Does anybody have any other questions? Bo, would you like to take a couple minutes perhaps to update? I know that you have a drive-through job fair coming up, and is there anything you want to share about some of the other groups like Virginia Career Works or Network to Work, some of those other groups that we work with for workforce development? Do you want to share anything about that?
Yeah, we are trying to pull off a drive-through job fair at the high school parking lot on April 28th. That is a tentative date. That's nothing hard set yet. We are working through the details and how that can work through, you know, the governor's orders with the number of people that can be there, the mitigation strategies to keep everybody safe. But it's going to be an outdoor event. Hopefully, we're going to try to do something creative because we always host a job fair for our seniors who are exiting the high school, trying to get them a leg up in the workforce community. So what we can do, Tracy, is we'll share that out on the membership on the chamber website as well. And obviously through our Virginia Career Works Board, which I'm a member of, and our Region 9, Region 10. And we're doing a lot collaboratively to work together with our chambers, both on the Albemarle and the Louisa side. We're working with PVCC, Network to Work. We're trying to remove barriers for job seekers, and that's an adult slash young adult. So we're trying to make sure that we provide them with the best possible training, learning how to do paperwork, you know, remove barriers such as not having a driver's license, trying to get reliable transportation, childcare. So as a collective group, our workforce committee on the chamber is trying to break down some barriers, build some bridges for all those job seekers out there. Just the other day, I had a young man who applied for a job and he just didn't have a state ID. So we showed him how to fill out the application, make an appointment to DMV. So, I mean, that's a step. That's a win for us if a young man just doesn't have that support to do that from family members, et cetera. And that's what we do as a school system, is try to help that. So another good supportive measure that we do. But Network to Work does that as well for job seekers, more so on the adult side of the house. Frank and his group over there at PVCC. They do a great job. But we are doing a lot of collaborative things across our regions, just so the employers know that. The one thing that we're trying to do, and I know Tracy can share this as well, is we're trying to find a one-stop shop for employers to go to and say, hey, I need this, this, and this. I don't want to search all over the place to post my jobs everywhere, and go all of these different websites, Indeed and Monster and all these things. So I think what we can do, Tracy, is if we can have folks on the call spread the word, a lot of their job postings, especially members, can do it on our website through the chamber, as well as if they're seeking a high school student, they can do it through me. And those are your best outlets, because the more that we know folks, for instance, I have a connection with all the teachers and the students. So if you're seeking a young adult, I can help you on that side. But if you're seeking an adult applicant, definitely go through our chamber website. And Tracy does a great job of posting those and getting them on Facebook or whatever. She can enhance those services for you, especially if you're a chamber member. So we appreciate that as well.
Yeah, thanks, Bo. That's great. To Bo's point, absolutely. As members of the chamber, we can post news, job postings, events. You have the capabilities to do it directly yourself as well. But, if you don't have the staff or the resources to take the time to do it, at least send us something. Even if you've posted it on some of the other job posting sites, just send me the link and we'll make sure that we get it added to our site. We're building a pretty robust following within the community as the central source for what's happening with events, where to find deals at businesses, as well as where to find jobs and work. The Workforce Development Committee that we are forming, we are looking for volunteers that would like to be part of that. And I would actually like to take the opportunity, if you have direct questions for Bo and about his program, please raise your hand, unmute yourself, and ask those questions. But I would also like, if you could put it in the chat, so we have a written, if you can just give us what's your number one challenge with workforce. Is it finding people? Is it too confusing, not knowing where to post? What do you find a struggle with? And I do know that there are some resources on here like Louisa, Journey Home, Sharon, some other groups that work, that have people that are looking to get into jobs. So from your perspective, maybe offer us some input on your challenges in terms of getting them matched up to work. Workforce is a very critical topic for Louisa County. Bo does an amazing, great job. And what I've seen over the last couple of years, especially with the pandemic, is where the needs for jobs tended to be in a particular segment or industry traditionally, but now it has crossed all barriers where every industry is struggling to find help and quality work and things like that. So we have really upped up our game as a committee to try to find some solutions, as Bo mentioned, to workforce to better serve our community and our businesses. Anybody, Bo, you have anything else you want to add, or anybody have any other questions?
Can I jump in real quick?
Yes.
Go ahead, Felicia.
Thanks. So when you guys were talking about the need for employers and students and everyone to know where to go to be able to find jobs, there was a Go Virginia grant that was approved maybe 2 years ago, Campus RVA. They were having the same issue in Richmond, but they were specifically targeting just college graduates. And then their goal is to grow that to the entire city, that the city has just one place where everyone goes. So just an idea for you all, if that's going to be Bo's website or chamber website or something that you guys want to grow for the region, Go Virginia is definitely a possibility there, because it is hard. There's so many places that you could post a job. It's hard to know where to go, and it's hard for the job seekers. So just to have that one central place of everyone knows, go here, do this, it really helps, especially keep talent local so that it doesn't bleed out to other regions, which is always really important. So just wanted to put that bug in your ear.
Thank you.
I know we've gotten several chats, people that are interested in the committee, so that's great. We will definitely follow up with you about that in our next meeting. So we'll keep you posted. Anybody else have any other questions or comments?
Tracy, just for the group, I threw my email in the chat. If they have a direct question, they can send that to me. It's there for, folks can write that down real quick if they'd like, and then we can go, into more detail if they have a question about their exact needs.
Wonderful, thank you. And I see that there's a couple of items in the chat that people have some hiring events and so forth that are going on. My email address is executivedirector@louisachamber.org. So if you can send me that information about your event so I can make sure we get that on our calendar and also shoot that out to resources and connections that we have. All right, Frank or anybody else have any other questions or comments?
I'd just like to thank Bo again for taking time out of his vacation to bring us up to speed today. And I think that I've got two daughters that have already been out of the nest for some time and now grandchildren. But I think anybody that has still got kids at home probably is really appreciative of Bo's efforts and the efforts of everyone to make sure that they're out of the nest by the time they are 25. So, we're ready to move on with life and find a way to make, people productive. So, Bo, thanks again. We really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you all in person here soon.
Yeah, thank you guys. I enjoyed meeting with the group today, and we are looking forward to an in-person event in May. So that'll hopefully just add more flavor to our offerings. That'd be great.
Absolutely. Frank, do you want to give a little teaser about our next presenter to the group?
Sure, be glad to. So for some of the folks that are here know that I basically came from the Warrington area. My whole life was spent there. My insurance investment practice, we raised our family there. And I've been an active member of the Rotary Club probably for about 26 years. And one of the young ladies that was a member of our club is almost like another daughter to me. I've invited her to speak to our group next month. Her name is Amelia Stanzel. And to make a very long story short, a few years ago, the local sheriff, along with some folks from the Fairfax County area, came to our Rotary Club and made a presentation about the issues of human trafficking. And once we heard that presentation, I think it really pulled on a lot of heartstrings. But for Amelia, she became very entrenched in this whole issue and took it to a whole different level. Subsequent to that, she has really dedicated a tremendous amount of time and effort to learning about this issue and how we can learn to prevent it, how we can recognize it around us. And she had done such a wonderful job. She was actually invited to speak to the International Conference of Rotary in Germany a year ago. So she's a really great speaker. She's full of energy. I feel confident that we will learn an awful lot in a very short period of time. Her presentation is over the top. But I would really encourage you to make sure that you mark it on the calendar. It will certainly be worth your while, and be really, really glad to have her as our next guest speaker.
Okay, great. I am just about to lose my battery, so if I pop off of here, my apologies. I would like to thank Bo again for taking the time to be with us. It looks like he might have dropped off, but thank you. And thank you all for joining us this morning. look for an email or information about getting involved with the Workforce Committee or getting connected. Oh, there's Bo. I see you now. Sorry. Thanks a lot, Bo. I really appreciate you doing this. I know you're off venturing. And thank you everyone for joining us this morning. Look for more information about meeting in person and some more news about workforce development. Thank you, Frank, Tammy, for your work and efforts. And I think we'll wrap it up if nobody has anything else.
Thank you very much. Good to see everyone.
Thank you. It's good
Thank
to
you,
see
everybody.
faces.
Nice to
God
see
bless.
you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Tracy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.